Oh, sweat equity, bro.
A lot of stories
These
like
little dudes are stupid, man.
this, what's making people pay attention isn't just the murder case itself. It's the fact that Sean Gathright reportedly came from a good family, had a supportive upbringing, traveled the world growing up, and according to his own family, was surrounded by positive role models and older figures throughout his life.
You have characterized your and your brother Sean's childhood as a good, nice, loving childhood growing up. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that both of you had wonderful, loving, supportive relationships. Isn't that true, ma'am? And specifically when talking about male role models, you said that he had a wonderful relationship with his stepdad, Brian.
Yes.
He also had a wonderful godfather. His grandmother, Lisa Gathright, you both had wonderful relationships with her as well.
Yes.
And her husband, before he passed away, your grandfather, both you and your brother Sean had an amazing...
So it's not like you grew up in it. You've been catching hats since you was 13. You desensitized. You like, fuck it, bro. You literally went and chased this shit. You chased it. You're a dork. Now they finna use you for free labor, sweat equity. Bruh beat the death penalty, and a couple of his other co-leads, they beat the death penalty, and they all praise God and the scriptures and anointed child and my anointed with all. Niggas, Chud the Builder was just praising, oh God, only God has me. Like, you motherfuckers are demonic and weird spirits and want to run a religion. Whole time y'all call somebody that question religion, but it's not. I'm not out here killing nobody. I'm not out here sliding on the ops and then going to Jesus about it. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. That's why this world is a clown world, bro. Because this man grew up in a nice home, everything he supposedly needed, right? Obviously didn't have no type of spiritual nothing. He probably had all the clothes, the money, they taking him around the world traveling. Yeah, but you ain't giving them the right knowledge. My dad told me the streets was aside. He told me about all this shit. And I ain't gonna lie, I still have my goal. Cause you know the world, the kids follow the world, society. They think that shit is lit. When you get older, you realize society lying. Let's get back into it though, bro.
Loving, supportive relationship with him as well.
But despite all that, Sean, alongside several other individuals, would eventually drive from Jacksonville to Tampa, Florida, where prosecutors say they carried out a targeted ambush that left rapper Julio Foolio dead. And in the process, Sean would end up destroying his own future forever. Not long after the murder, authorities would track Sean Gathright down and arrest him in connection to the homicide. And by the end of the trial, Sean was crying in court, which raises a bigger question that honestly goes far beyond this case alone. How did we get here? And how does someone who seemingly had love, guidance, structure, and opportunity still end up making the worst decision of their entire life? Sean Gathright was described by his sister as the type of little brother who was always joking around and messing with people. The two grew up extremely close in a military family and were rarely ever separated, despite constantly moving around growing up. His sister described Sean as funny, caring, and somebody.
He that nigga that play too much. He do too much. Suburb spoiled ass nigga. You not like that. Go sit down. No, I'm like that. I'm like that. Type of nigga you'll whoop his ass in school. Bro, I know niggas like this, bro. Had all the Jordans, all the shoes. These niggas went and jumped in the streets. Nigga, I was buying Jordans that was too big for me. Used Jordans, trading my shoes. I remember my dad told me 8th grade, he was like, this is the last year I'm buying you something. Last year I'm buying you some clothes for school. 8th grade, I remember. 8th grade, it was going into 8th grade. He's like, this is the last year you getting all this clothes. I ain't taking you shopping, nigga. I'm like, damn. Yeah, like I'm a street. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm only 14. He was already treating me like a grown man. But that taught me how to get it on my own. Yeah. Flea market, flipping shoes. But this nigga grew up with he probably grew up with hoverboards and PS5s and play 2K all night in his room and troll and wear all the fresh shoes. Yeah, niggas like that don't be nothing in life, nigga. Cause you got your ass, you got shit handed to you. I'm not saying my mom ain't give me the PlayStation or some Jordans every once in a while, but I didn't get the 11s on Christmas, nigga. I didn't get the fresh shoes, I had to like get my shit for real. But I also wasn't like super trench, like single mom in the hood, roaches and rats and shit, and you know what I'm saying. But I was sleeping on the floor, nigga. Fuck you mean? In the studio apartment. My pops was fucked up, nigga. But we wasn't though. But all I gotta say though, man, is niggas like this are cornballs, bro. I can just see what type of nigga this is, bro. Goofy
who was always there whenever she needed him. And she recalled childhood memories of him wearing her sunglasses, turning her TV upside down for no reason, and constantly bothering her in the way younger brothers usually do. Growing up, Sean reportedly traveled to places like Japan, Scotland, Jamaica, London, Ireland, France, and even South Africa. He also participated in karate and sports, volunteered at church food pantries, and according to testimony in court, grew up surrounded by supportive family members and positive role models throughout his life. Bro. His sister also described him as a loving uncle who spent a lot of time helping take care of her child and playing with him around the house. So by most accounts, Sean Gathright came across as a normal young man who had structure around him and people who genuinely cared about him. And honestly, that's what makes this case feel so disturbing to a lot of people watching it, because it's hard to picture this same person, the one described in court as funny, caring, well-traveled, and family-oriented.
Were you remorseful as you were running back with that AR-15 in your hands?
Like I said, I try to remember nothing from that night.
Later being seen in surveillance footage.
Oh yeah, he was on time. He got an AR like he in the military, bruh. This nigga Julio didn't get smacked by no nigga in the hood he been beefing with. He got smacked by a suburban kid. No, bro, that street shit is rigged. That shit's rigged. You telling me this nigga didn't survive all the block shootouts, all the hood shootouts, all the trenches, nigga, the woes, the zoes, the woes, the O's. That nigga didn't survive all the Z shootouts to get smacked by a suburban out the way? No. Nah, hell nah, bro. What, he thought he was gonna get rank? What the fuck is wrong with this kid, bro?
Holding what prosecutors describe as an AR-style rifle and firing into a Dodge
Charger bitch got a scope
during the ambush that killed rapper Julio Foolio. Now the story starts in Jacksonville, Florida. Sean Gathright and several others made the drive down to Tampa on June 22nd, 2024.
Nigga,
at the time, Foolio had been posting his location online throughout his birthday weekend.
The pool party start the day at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up.
And investigators believe the group used those public posts to track his movements across the city. The group traveled in 2 separate vehicles. One was a silver Chevy Cruze. The other was a black Chevy Impala, allegedly connected to Sean Gathright through his mother's registration. So this car was quite literally registered to his own mother's name. However, it was noted that this was mainly used as his own personal vehicle. By the time they reached Tampa, prosecutors said,
"Hit that like! Let's go!"
The group checked into an Airbnb, located just minutes away from where the murder would eventually happen. At that point, everything still looked normal on the surface. Just another group of young people in another city during a weekend trip.
Right.
But according to court documents, the real reason they came to Tampa started unfolding later that night. Investigators say the group began following Foolio's movements across the city after he publicly posted locations tied to his birthday celebration. Prosecutors claim the silver Chevy Cruze allegedly acted almost like a lookout vehicle, locating Foolio and the people around him before the black Chevy Impala connected to Sean would later arrive nearby. The first stop prosecutors mentioned was Teaser's Gentleman's Club, then another nightclub called Truth 18. Surveillance footage, phone records, and location data allegedly placed both vehicles near those locations throughout the night, and prosecutors claim Sean's phone actually became one of the biggest pieces tying the entire timeline together. The court documents state that Sean's phone allegedly continued appearing near every major location connected to Foolio that particular night, and eventually everything led back to a hotel called Home 2 Suites in Tampa. Foolio and the people
Foolio killers don't even look his age. What the fuck, bro? Of course my camera just dropped, bro. I'm finna end this video, bro. I swear to God, bro.
Had reportedly returned to the hotel during the early morning hours after moving around the city throughout the night. Shortly afterward, Prosecutors say surveillance footage captured both suspect vehicles arriving near the hotel parking lot. But investigators say the way the vehicles moved inside the parking lot allegedly showed this wasn't random. The black Chevy Impala connected to Sean took a longer route around the hotel, almost as if the people inside were trying to avoid being seen immediately. Then moments later, prosecutors say the silver Chevy Cruze drove past Foolio's parked vehicles multiple times before eventually leaving the area altogether. That's when the situation turned deadly. Around 4:38 that morning, prosecutors say 3 masked gunmen stepped out of the black Chevy Impala and began moving through the hotel parking lot on foot.
Whoa.
Sean Gathright was one of those 3 individuals. Sean was seen armed with an AR-style rifle during the shooting, and the surveillance footage showed one of the riflemen carrying a weapon, equipped with what investigators believed was a brass catcher, a device designed to prevent shell casings from falling onto the ground. Then suddenly, gunfire erupted across the parking lot. Multiple shots were fired directly toward the Dodge Charger Foolio was sitting inside as the vehicle attempted to speed away through the parking lot. Foolio then tried diving into the back seat as bullets tore through the vehicle, striking him in the chest and the back. 3 other people inside were also wounded during the shooting before one of the vehicles eventually crashed nearby, and within seconds, the gunman disappeared back into the night. But according to investigators, the story didn't end in the parking lot. In the hours after the shooting, prosecutors say the suspects allegedly split up and began making their way back toward Jacksonville. Sean allegedly drove the black Chevy Impala to a family member's house in Polk County. Roughly 12 hours after the murder, surveillance cameras captured Sean unloading bags from the vehicle before transferring items into another SUV, registered under his mother's name. Sean was also later seen wiping down parts of the Impala, including the door handles and portions of the interior. And that right there became one of the clearest signs to investigators that Sean was now starting to panic. Because by this point, investigators say the digital trail surrounding the murder was already beginning to close in around everyone involved. Phone records, license plate readers, surveillance footage, Airbnb cameras,
look at
Uber
him, got
records.
multiple cars.
Nearly every moment tied to the trip from Jacksonville to Tampa.
He got multiple family members' houses he could pull up to, multiple cars. Like, nigga, what are you doing chasing around Foolio? That nigga Foolio probably ain't grow up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, bro. This nigga's a dork, bro. He could have been doing anything else with his life. Niggas like this supposed to be selling life insurance somewhere, making $300K a year. Like, what are you doing, bro? Making YouTube videos and content and traveling, and this is how you trade. This is how you day trade. This is how you sell life insurance. Like, bro, he could have been doing anything, bro. Some of us ain't had no options, bro. We ain't come from no good households where we go home and play our game and play our video game and play with our sister. No, nigga. What Bang Game Mazo said, nigga, we was thumbing through chicken. You was arguing with your sister. Well, bro.
Constructed piece by piece. Then just days later, Sean was pulled over in Jacksonville while driving a different SUV. Officers allegedly discovered
already on his ass,
firearm parts, and bags prosecutors believe.
I know he like, why they pulling me over already? Oh my God, how they know?
And as investigators continued searching deeper into the case, things became even worse for Sean. When authorities later searched his home, investigators found multiple rifles inside a safe, including one equipped with a brass catcher, similar to the one described during the shooting at the hotel. And eventually, all this evidence they discovered surrounding Foolio's murder became impossible to ignore, and they basically connected all the dots. One by one, arrests started coming in. The silver Chevy Cruze, prosecutors say had tracked Foolio throughout Tampa, was eventually located in Georgia. Rashad Murphy, which was one of the suspects, was allegedly behind the wheel when police attempted to stop the vehicle. Then in the weeks that followed, Sean and the others connected to the case were eventually arrested and charged in connection to the murder of Julio Foolio.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Walk back to me. Put your hands behind your back.
And just like that, a trip that allegedly started as retaliation in an ongoing Jacksonville gang war had now turned into one of the biggest rap-related murder cases in recent years. But what makes this story especially disturbing is how normal everything looked in the beginning. A drive to another city, an Airbnb, nightclubs, friends moving around during a birthday party weekend, and then just within a few hours, multiple lives were destroyed forever. And eventually the story that started with a drive from Jacksonville to Tampa ended inside a courtroom. For nearly a month, the jury listened as prosecutors laid out what they believed happened during Julio Foolio's final hours alive. The state argued that Sean Gathright and the others tracked Foolio across Tampa after he publicly posted locations tied to his birthday weekend online. Jurors were shown surveillance footage, phone records, license plate reader data, Airbnb footage, and videos from the hotel parking lot where the shooting occurred. All of this evidence eventually led back to Sean and the other suspects. And Sean's phone had appeared near multiple locations connected to Foolio that night. His black Chevy Impala was allegedly seen moments before the shooting.
Bro, probably his hood partner. That what I'm guessing is this the nigga that's really probably into it with Foolio, right? This nigga, he probably really into it with Foolio. You feel me? And he got his little partner to come slide with him that really want to be from the streets too. Whole time you hanging with a fluky. You know what I'm saying? He probably beefing over a bitch. Foolio, they both hit or something. Cause this is a nigga that was like, thank God, oh God, I didn't get the penalty. Like, bro. It's crazy, man. Long live Foolio, man. Stop drill rap, Julio.